One of my favorite movies has always been Jaws. Way back when I was a teenager, I first saw Jaws, and I think like everybody else, I kept checking under my bed at night, make sure that shark wasn't there. Anyway, the story basically is a killer shark off of New England coast who's been terrorizing the town, and they bring in some people to try and identify and catch the shark. I'm interested in how they went ahead and identified the shark and how they finally came up with a solution to the problem of getting the shark based on its characteristics. We've been studying two different ways to look about identifying organisms. One is phonetic, which is loosely means just things you can see right in front of you, appearance and so forth. And the other is cladistic, which is a little more subtle, tells you something about the origin, evolution, common ancestry of that organism. Sometimes this could be behavioral things, but we're going to keep our definitions kind of loose. It's basically things that you can't see right in front of you, but tell us a lot about the organism. And so we're going to first of all go ahead and hear and watch a compilation of video clips I've done from the movie here. And each time we go through there, we're going to go ahead and try and identify what are the cladistic and phonetic traits that led them to go ahead and figure out what type of shark. And we all know it was a great white shark at this point. And then once we've watched those and we kind of get an idea of how you look at phonetic and cladistic traits, we'll go over here to our activity. And I have a number of worksheets I put together here that are going to take you through it. So first of all, we'll start with phonetic traits, things we can easily see, appearance. And this is a dichotomous key, yes or no, either or answers. And basically you just go through it. So if I was looking, for example, at a hammerhead shark, I'd start number 1 here. Is the body kite-like? No, it's not. So if it's not, we'd go then to number 2. Does it have a pelvic fin? And so forth. You keep going through here. And just to help you out, I've given you a little cheat sheet. If you go down here further, this kind of tells you the basic anatomy, so you can tell what the phonetic traits are, the fins and so forth. Most sharks really have 5 gills. Sometimes they have 6. And so you go through there and identify each shark. Who are the sharks you're going to identify? Here they are right here. And so where's our hammerhead number 13? We'd kind of go through the hammerhead like I was just doing there. It's not kite-like. Does it have a pelvic fin? Let's take a look. Does it have a pelvic fin? Yeah, it looks like it does. Was that the pelvic fin? Where it weighs down here? Does it have a pelvic fin? Yeah, it looks like it does. So anyway, you kind of go through there and then identify each shark over here. So that's doing phonetically, and it's using a dichotomous key. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and put together our own dichotomous key using phonetic traits again. And so you'll do, what do I have here? 8 different sharks. I just picked out a few traits to look at: color, size, teeth. If there was another distinguishing feature, you might want to put it in there. Where would you find this information? You go to this site right here, Enchanted Sharks. Great. And then we go ahead and look. We can look up our table of contents here, our sharks. Could go ahead and just search for the shark, which one you were looking for, and then go ahead and get your information. So let's look at the shark index. Hammerhead, where was that? Oh, there it is, hammerhead. And so there's hammerhead, and I can gather some information and put it all together there and fill out the chart. What we want to look here, though, is traits that don't change all that much, right? So you have to be careful about it because sharks have variation like anything else. And the other thing, when you put together your dichotomous tree here, start with the bigger questions first, and then go ahead and distinguish between them. Now, one of the problems you're going to have is you're probably going to end up reusing things. So what's its color? Is it gray? Is it not gray? And then you may go down here. What's its color? Is it gray? Try not to do that. Try and use a really good dichotomous key would not reuse the same questions over and over. So you'll put the question right here, and then you'll put the either or right here. For example, we might have color over here, and I might say gray and not gray. That would hopefully separate the sharks out. Then you come to the next question. Does it have jagged, so teeth? Are the jagged teeth or are they not jagged? Or maybe they're jagged and serrated. Those two variables would go here, and then you'd separate the sharks. Now, you're probably not going to get lucky and go, well, it's 4 and 4, and then 2 and 2, and then 1, 1, 1. You might have to change this. You can click on this, and you can change it if you need to add other tree branches in there. That's okay. Finally, now we're going to try and do cladistic traits. And I have given you a cladistic table here. So cartilage, for example, all sharks, yes, they're made of cartilage, right? And so we have plus, plus, plus here, 5 gills. These have plus. It looks like the cow sharks don't have it, and so forth. And then you're going to go ahead and use this information to put down here. Now, parsimony tells us we should have a nice straight tree. It isn't always like that, but that's going to be our attempt to see if we can do it. We always start off with an outlier, so other fish, trout, bass, tunas, and so forth, they would go first, and all the other sharks then would go over here. How many other sharks do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 6 other ones. So they come over here, and then you'd put another question here. For example, do they lay eggs? And they'd separate out. But you have to be careful about how you organize them, because you always want to keep trying to pull out one and have the rest of them go up the line there. It's a little bit tricky there, and this is called a cladogram.